Now, before we get into Punnett squares and how to solve problems using them, let's talk about a few things that you need to know. You need to be familiar with alleles, different flavors of genes. And there's two types of alleles typically for one trait. You have the dominant allele, which will be represented by a capital letter, such as capital B for brown eyes. Or you have a recessive allele, which will be the lowercase letter. In this case, it could represent blue eyes. Now, the traits can vary. It could be eye color, it could be hair, it could be if you're tall or short. It can vary. Now, you need to be familiar with these terms as well. The first one, homozygous dominant. So, what does that mean? Well, think of the word homo. Homo means the same. So, a person with a homozygous dominant trait would have two capital letters or two capital dominant alleles. In this case, B and B. Someone who's heterozygous has a dominant and a recessive allele. Hetero means different. Homozygous recessive, they have the same recessive allele. In this case, two lowercase letters. So this information here is referred to as the genotype for that particular trait because it tells you the genes that corresponds to a certain trait. Now the phenotype is associated with the physical characteristics that relate to those traits. Now the individual with the homozygous dominant trait, he's going to have brown eyes because big B is associated with brown eyes. The person with the homozygous recessive trait is going to have blue eyes. So this represents the phenotype of the individual, the physical characteristics that you can visibly see. Now, what about the heterozygous individual, where he has both the dominant and the recessive allele? What physical characteristic will he display, or she? What will be that individual's phenotype? So what would you say? Which one